Investing isn't just about real estate or stocks. It can be so much more than that. As technology continues to evolve and adapt, so should the strategies and techniques that we use in our everyday investing. I want to share with you the future of investing. So let's get into it. So the investing app that I'm talking about is called Rally. Rally is, for all intensive purposes, a stock exchange, but for blue chip collectible assets. Now, you're probably asking yourself, Andrew, what's a blue chip collectible asset? And I'm here to tell you, a blue chip collectible asset is anything from a vintage car to vintage video games that are graded, to Pokemon cards that are graded, comic books that are graded, rookie MLB hockey cards that are graded. Anything that people deem has value can be on the Rally platform. Now, for instance, how this works is most of us could normally not buy a $400,000 Lamborghini Diablo. However, Rally offers us the opportunity to buy shares in this Lamborghini Diablo. So you are able to be a part owner in these items. So here's how it works. Rally will begin sourcing each of these items, these blue chip collectible assets, and they're based on various factors. These factors include rarity, as in how hard is it to obtain, how rare and scarce is this item, significance, does anybody care, and a big one is actually condition. And so what this can be is how is it maintained over the years? Has it been crushed? Is it in great perfect condition? Is it factory sealed? These things can be based on grades. And the grading services are PSA and BGS for anything card related, or I believe even magazine related. And then you have VGA and WADA, and those are more grading systems for video games and Game Boys and other larger, not so compact game. From there, they'll move on to past auction sales. And so, as this is an investment, we need to make sure that we're getting either the market value for it or under it. And so we are able to compare this based on past auction prices, which Rally will actually provide to us through their platform. After Rally has sourced the asset, Rally will then start entering into an agreement with the seller. Now, you'll probably ask yourself this: why would the seller be incentivized to work with Rally? Why wouldn't they just work with an auction house? Well, the reason that sellers are incentivized to work with Rally is because most auction houses ask for 20% of each sale. Meaning that if you have a blue chip collectible asset that is worth $100,000 and it sells for that, they're taking $20,000 away from the seller. Whereas the seller is incentivized to work with Rally because Rally will only take a 3% fee on the actual sale of the product. Meaning instead of $20,000, they're now taking $3,000. And this is a huge gap that incentivizes a seller to really want to work with Rally. So in a way, Rally is kind of an auction house in the way that they help their investors, but they're also able to get better deals from a seller based on this incentive. Once Rally has this asset under contract with the seller, Rally will begin funding the deal, meaning that Rally will begin putting the asset on the platform and looking for us, the investors, to put money into the asset. So, for instance, with the $400,000 Lamborghini Diablo, they're going to start needing that $400,000 from us. Now, Rally themselves will put in 2 to 10% of the deal, meaning they'll fund 2 to 10% of the entire deal to either fill it entirely or get just that last amount of money into it. But ultimately, as an investor, that should give us a little bit of hope. And the reason why I'm saying that is because Rally is starting to put skin in the game, meaning that they're not just buying these assets to hold them forever and just have in their warehouse and have a museum. It's not just a group of guys that just love having collectibles and they're the only ones that ever get to see any benefit from it. This is a real investing platform. They're looking to make money on their money. We are always looking to scale up and make this really an awesome investment. As I mentioned earlier, Rally is a lot like the stock exchange, where you are able to buy and sell shares of stocks, or in this case, blue chip collectible asset shares. And so, as these windows open and you see something that you would really like to get in on, you're able to buy and sell those shares in order to get to that point and get to those investments that you want to have. Personally, I enjoy funding the deal because I believe in the platform and I believe in the assets that I'm seeing. Although there are ones that Rally has already funded and I would love to get in on, I think that the initial purchase of an item is something that's truly unique to this platform and really allows you to start from beginning to end with an investment. Another reason why this platform and this form of investing is so wonderful is the fact that Rally will actually maintain, provide security for, and insure each one of these assets. So if you can imagine, even if we could afford the $400,000 vehicle, could we actually make sure that it's in a safe location? Can we actually make sure that it's not going to get stolen or damaged? And even pay for the insurance for this asset? It would be quite difficult. And so Rally takes care of all those things so that us as the investors don't have to worry about it. Ultimately, one of the best parts about this form of investing is that anyone can do it. There is a low barrier to entry for this. Whether you have $5, $100, $1,000, anyone can invest through Rally. Anybody can buy shares in an investment. Sure, some investments and some assets have shares that are a little bit more expensive, but there's also investments that have those $4 per share items. And so it's really up to you to decide what you want to invest in and how you want to grow your money. You know what else has a low barrier to entry? Liking this video and subscribing to my channel. All love is appreciated and it allows me to give value back to you. So let's get into it. Let's go through an example and show you guys exactly how Rally works. So here we have a 99 Pokemon First Edition booster box, and it looks like the current value of it is $415,000. As you can see, Rally is offering this sometime here in the future, near future, and once we move down to the comparables, so this is the past auction sales chart. So there we see again the value is $415,000, and we can see a value change of 275,631.6%, and there has been 7 transactions over time. And when I put my finger on the dial, we can see in March 23rd of 2013, this item was sold for $148 on eBay. That's mostly where that 275,000% came from. But then as we move our hands along, we can see in 9/19/14, it sold for $10,000. So that was already quite a massive jump from 2013. And then we're able to go to 11/17/14. So there was a little bit of a dip, probably about $1,000 there. That person got a good deal. And then we go from 2014 to 2019. So that person held it for a little bit of time, and now it's worth $78,000 in 2019. This is 423% up since 2014, and then it has only gone up since, let's see here, 9/13 of 20. A year later, it's 198,000, and to today, of where the last auction sale was 408,000. Now, you're probably asking yourself, this was last bought for 408,000. Why are we buying this for 415,000? Well, the answer is mostly that as people continue to open these booster boxes, there aren't any more. And so the value can only continue to go up. So it's really important to note that there's a very limited supply of these factory sealed booster boxes left. And I mean, this is more specific to this asset and this item, but for the most part, that's what really holds the value for this item specifically. And you as the investor should really know what you're investing in. So with this item, we're buying it for $415,000, but imagine if we hold it for a year. right? Ultimately, these are investments, which means that you should expect that time is going to have to pass for the value of it to increase, for you to actually see a return that you're pretty happy with. And Pokemon has definitely been a trend, but it's not going away anytime soon. On the next page, we can see other publishers talking about, what this card has meant, opening a pack of Pokemon cards in search of a new shiny holographic rare. These are the kinds of things that other publishers are pushing, and they're just trying to build excitement and hype around these assets. Here's a little bit more in where they kind of talk about the history of this box. And so it basically came out in the late 1990s. It's first edition. This is the first one that hit retailers, featuring the now famous Charizard number 4 card, which for most of you, if you didn't know, a PSA 10 Charizard Shadowless is $350,000. And so if you were able to pull multiple out of a $415,000 box, it is worth the investment. Now, there are people out there that will hate on Rally, and let me tell you why. The first is mostly that after an asset has been funded, there is a 90-day closing period, meaning that you are not going to be able to buy or sell shares of that asset you funded for 90 days. And then even when the trading windows open, they only open periodically. So you can only expect to see a trading window open maybe once a month, maybe once bi-monthly. And so it's not as liquid of an investment that a lot of people are kind of looking for. They're looking for fast cash, quick cash, a fast way to make a buck here or there. And I'll tell you, Rally is not the platform for that. Rally is the platform for somebody that wants to invest and knows that they're in it for the long haul. You believe in the assets that you're putting your money into and don't expect that you'll have your return right away. Have faith in the investments. Have faith in the things that you put money into. And lastly, people will say that, oh, I've only invested $5 to $20. This is taking too long for my investment to be realized. And I think the thought process behind that approach is wrong. And the reason I think it's wrong is because although this is a platform for everyone to invest in, whether you can invest that $4 to $100 to $1,000, the idea is that you're consistently investing over time, meaning that it's not just the $4. You're continuing to build out, whether it's in other assets throughout the platform, maybe you're diversifying your investments through what Rally is offering. Ultimately, it's about your portfolio. So whether you make $5 on one asset, but say you make $5 on 10 assets altogether, that's $50. And if you're able to do more than that, maybe that's $500, right? And so it just depends specifically on the investments you have, but it should be, and your thought process should be more on the portfolio in general, in total. Putting away smaller amounts of money over time, that is the investment. That is what I'm talking about as to why this is the future of investing with an app that anybody can get in on. Lastly, I'll tell you why I choose to invest with Rally. And the answer is pretty simple. I love investing in collectibles, mostly because of the nostalgia aspect, but also because of the economics aspect. As I mentioned earlier, the supply of these assets is never going up. These items will never be made again, or even if they are reproduced, they'll be worth far less. And so what people are investing in with these collectibles is the nostalgia of it. When I was growing up, my parents bought me the Pokemon Blue version, and they probably bought it off a shelf. It was factory sealed. People are willing to pay anything for that, and it's factory sealed in mint condition. And so as the supply continues to go down, or at least stay constant, and the demand continues to increase, you can only expect the price of these collectibles to increase over time, especially if they have really good grades, because those are highly sought after. The other aspect of this is that in more recent years, there have never been platforms like Rally that allow us to invest in shares of these items. For instance, as I was talking about earlier, with a $400,000 Lamborghini Diablo, That's not something that most of us can even afford, even close. So the fact that we're able to buy shares in it or start to own parts of that Lamborghini is something that means a lot to people. And it doesn't have to just be the Lamborghini. It could be the Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Maybe people had some really close association growing up with that the nostalgia for that item is just so strong and inherent with them. And so something that I believe to my core is that you should invest in what you love. You should invest in the things that you want to invest in. And with the evolution of technology, we're able to do that. So that's all for today. Be sure to leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts about the future of investing with collectibles. Until next time, peace.